Oh. I didn't know.
You didn't know what?
This was a whole...
It's new.
How new?
It's like, I haven't had it that long. It's only been on maybe a couple episodes.
Oh, okay. So not for me.
Yeah.
This is...
Well, no, it's for the podcast.
I know.
At large.
Beautiful intro. Oh.
No direction, no
purpose. At one point, he says he was a lonely man. And it's extended. The whole interlude is just chef's kiss.
Yeah. The Commodores, right? They came together at Tuskegee.
Yes.
Tom Joyner was a member, and his parents told him they wouldn't make any money, and so then he had to leave. According to Tom Joyner's Wikipedia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then he started a cruise.
And then he started
to recoup
being
the Commodore's
a
money.
crazy DJ that goes from one city during the week in another city on the weekends. And so DJing 7 days a week.
To make up.
Miles going crazy, and then nationally syndicated, and of course, a cruise.
Yeah. He found his purpose.
His...
It's so wild. It's so wild. I feel like that's like the critique is like music today. We say a lot of reckless things in romantic ways, but back then they're saying a lot of romantic things in very reckless ways.
Right. Yeah. They're getting in people's heads.
Yeah. This is like a lovely thing that he's saying is a very transparent moment, but it's like, is Sheila listening to this?
Right.
Because it sounds insane.
Just to be close to you, that's like, bare minimum. Like that's like, I'm just trying to get in the vicinity.
I'm trying to be in the perimeter. That's it. This is kind of about it.
Right.
I kind of like that.
Yeah. Can I be in the room? Can I at least be in the room?
What a question. Way to ask.
Right. Take my hand. I'm not taking anything.
Yeah, and he's basically saying that
my hand is out.
Yeah. He's acknowledging that he's been toxic and he wants to change, that he's nothing without his partner. So I wish music was like this now.
Yeah. Bring back the old school.
Oh, another one of my favorites. You were prepared. Yeah. You said you didn't bring this out for me, but it feels very personal. It feels very personal.
These videos that you made and bits, this bit about Dark Queen Duck is one of the things where it's like, dang, that was right there. I can't believe, that's such a funny premise.
So real. Like, to this day, I remember, because that's what it used to be, for us, is like, I didn't look at clocks when I was younger getting ready for school. I knew what time it was time to go based on what show was on.
Got you.
So, if Goof Troop started, we were late. If we got to shoot-a-bop-bop-a-doo-bop, like, it was like, well,
oh, no. We've never been here before.
I'm not supposed to see this in the morning.
Yeah.
But yeah, there were vetted songs that my mom was like, black people were involved in this, so I feel like this is good for you to consume. She was,
So was it strict like that across the board? Like, could you hey, y'all can't watch 60 Minutes. Ed Bradley's not here tonight. Like, Mickey Rooney on here ranting. We can't.
She kind of. And the thing about my mom is she let us watch reckless black stuff.
Okay.
Because it was like, I feel like I could watch How to Be a Player, but not.
Right.
But when I was watching Seventh Heaven, she was like, I don't know that I like these
I don't
themes.
know about this.
Yeah. It's too many white people.
And she might have had a case with Seventh Heaven. She might have been ahead of the time.
She was.
Yeah.
I feel like when we go back and watch those episodes, I remember the episode where they stood up for a black family, and it was problematic. It was very ridiculous. So my mom was onto something. She really was.
This is the Inconsistent Podcast with Rob Haze.
Oh.
My guest here, Amberia Allen.
Hi everyone. I never know what the cues are in podcasts. Like I'm supposed to be like introduce myself. Am I supposed to say I'm in the building? Like I know that was like a big that was a
That's
big thing.
very like radio.
It is okay. So this is not that. You don't adopt the same.
I mean, you could.
Okay.
I wish people brought radio energy to podcasts.
Yeah.
They'd be more entertaining.
I agree.
But but I think it's inconsistent. So you could literally say whatever you want.
I want.
Yeah.
I remember I did this BET show because we all have to.
Early. Shout out to BET.
Yeah.
Nothing bad to say about them right now.
Not right now, not at the moment. But I do remember I was hosting this show for them, and they were like, "Okay, just come and do an introduction." I was like, "Hi, I'm Amberia Allen," and they were like, "That's not it." And they kept telling me to say I was in the.
Yo, what's up? It's your girl.
It's your girl.
You know
Amberia
it's
Allen.
your girl. Why are you not saying that?
I don't know. I just didn't have the proper media training. I was doing regular 60 minutes introductions, and they were like, "No, you're in the building. It's your girl.
It's your girl."
And that was inconsistent for me.
Yeah, the Rap City documentary was very interesting because near the end, he was talking like one of the last hosts was talking about the notes he would get, and they were like, "Man, we just don't feel like you really being hip hop in there." And it's like, I'm introducing videos. I have to say what the video's called.
Right.
Like I this is what's in the prompter.
Yeah, and I'm not an artist. Like I'm not doing the hip hop. I'm here to just showcase it.
Big Tigger messed it up because he started rapping with the artists in the booth.
Yeah.
And then every host after that had to rap. But they weren't as passionate about rap as Big Tigger was.
Yeah, so,
about rapping.
Yeah. The critique was inaccurate, it seems.
Where are you from originally?
Bakersfield, California.
Bakersfield, California.
Yeah. Where are you from?
I'm from Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay, so I will situate Bakersfield for you. It is Central California. It is between, you drive through Bakersfield to get to better places, is what I always say. Like on your way to San Francisco, or on your way to Vegas, you might hit Bakersfield. It's a small, conservative town. Like Kevin McCarthy was our representative. That's why my mom was so militant, because we, But yeah, Bakersfield.
And so were there not a lot of black people growing up? Or
I didn't feel that way because everybody in my orbit was black. So it felt like it was black to me. But I mean, if I were to look at the demographics at the time growing up, it black people were a minority in the city, and it was mostly white and specifically Mexican. There's a big Sikh population in Bakersfield as well. But I don't know numbers, but I'm not a demographer. But to me, it didn't feel
demographer.
It didn't feel, because when you start an air horn, that's the only time there's been an air horn for demographers.
Yo,
they don't listen to podcasts.
It's the first time it's been said on the podcast, guaranteed. We 90-something episodes in, first time somebody dropped demographer.
They would be so happy that there's an air horn for their specific field. They're never gonna know.
All my demographers out there, keep your head up.
Yeah, they in the building.
They in the building. Yeah, they my girls, my guys, and my them.
Yeah, they in the building. But yeah, that's Bakersfield. It did recently move up the list, or move down the list. Well, I don't know if this is real, but the Shade Room posted the top 10 dirtiest cities.
No one's asking the Shade Room their sources.
They really aren't, but I feel like they should have an in-house demographer.
A top 20 is crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like the top 20 was to show California got a lot of dirt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Bakersfield moved down, which I was proud of. Like, that's how you know you got a dirty city, when you're happy that you made the list, but that your numbers improved.
We're not in the top 3 no more. Yeah. We out here.
It's improved. So that's what raised me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where'd you start stand up?
I started in LA, actually.
Okay. The hardest place in the world to start.
Do you think so?
I think so.
Why do you feel like it's the hardest place in the world?
Because this is where people come who already, are established. This is where crazy people come who just decide, I'm going to be a star when I get there.
Yeah.
I don't need to train. I'm going to get on TV first, then I'll train,
This is true.
It's
a delusional place, yeah.
And so then you're new and you're in the mix with all these people who have various levels of, different stuff, and there's not a lot of stage time.
Yeah. And I think for me, like, I started stand-up kind of in a strange way. Like, I wasn't the person who was like, I knew when I was 8 that that wasn't my path. I was in grad school. Like, I was
Okay.
I was at UCLA. I was in a sociology doctorate program. I was doing a whole different thing, but I was writing jokes. I was writing jokes in a little notebook, and I'm like, "What are you doing? Like, who saves jokes for later? Like, what am I doing? I don't know what it was for, but I had it." And
interesting.
yeah,
I feel like a lot of people might like find their spurts of funny in different ways, but writing jokes is probably unique because I didn't start writing jokes till I started doing stand up.
Really?
I was like writing funny poems or just thinking of bits to do in life, but not necessarily like a set up punch type of thing.
Yeah, I was writing jokes.
Okay.
It's very weird. Yeah, I was like, So this is a setup. Here's the punch. What is this for? Like, it was useless.
In your voice or like in the
mine.
voice of just like,
No, these were my stories.
Laffy Taffy.
Like, I was writing jokes about my cousins.
Okay.
Like specific storytelling experiences.
Okay.
Because, I know why now, but at the time, my only point of reference for doing anything in comedy, like, I had taken acting classes as a kid, but we were driving from Bakersfield to LA, and gas money was what it was, and then I had done speech and debate in high school.
Really? What type?
So I was on the debate team.
Yes.
Which I hated.
But were you like Lincoln Douglas? Were you policy? Were you IE?
Yeah. Wow, this is the first time anyone has asked me a follow-up question.
Yeah, no.
It was Lincoln Douglas debate.
Okay,
so,
okay.
Yeah,
LD.
khaki
all right.
pants, blazer, white shirt, red tie. Those were my...
No partner.
No partner.
Yeah, so you...
one-on-one.
I was policy.
Okay.
Yeah, I was the 2A.
Yeah.
So, I'm not good at spreading, not good at reading fast, doing anything fast. Okay. But what I would do is pick and choose from what their one end said.
Right.
And like that's what we're gonna talk about. So I was just yeah. I was like, we can go in depth on these things that I can get to,
and on these things.
Yeah, because me trying to just like spread us out is never gonna work.
Yeah, that's crazy. I've never ever talked to another debate person.
Debate was big in Atlanta.
Really?
Because Emory's right there. Their debate team was heavy. So we had the Atlanta Urban Debate League. And kids from all over the city would go to Georgia State and work with different like college debaters on high school debate.
That sounds like a program my mom should have known about and sent me out to participate in.
Yeah. Did you ever go to debate camp?
No.
You would have had a blast.
You went to debate camp?
I went to debate camp. Emory had a debate camp. There were like national debate camps, and then you get the topics for the next year. And you already like got a jump start. So then, the first debate you out there cracking, you've been working on it since the summer.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I was hardcore. I was like the captain.
Of the debate team?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That doesn't feel like your personality whatsoever. And mostly because my only context for debate kids is that they were annoying and terrible. And you are so laid back and kind and a reasonable person.
I probably was annoying and terrible then.
Okay.
Yeah. But in spurts, like the way my high school functioned, I couldn't be annoying and terrible everywhere because people could fight.
Yeah. That's what it was. There was not enough ass being beaten at the Bakersfield high schools.
Right.
And that's why you had rampant arrogance.
No.
And I feel like there was just a sentiment in Bakersfield that like, this was it. This is the best you're going to be. So we kind of let people be assholes because it's like, you going to be here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the humble people, I tried to really fly under the radar in high school. And now here I am doing a podcast with you.
Yeah.
So
you're in front of people a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I did speech and debate. I hated it because it was it didn't interest me whatsoever. And
Okay.
and mostly because it was arguing speech and debate felt like what the internet is now. That's what it felt. It felt like arguing in the comments with people, but doing it one-on-one with parents as judges. Were parents judges?
No,
See,
rarely.
this
It
was
was
low budget, what
normally
we were doing.
like college debaters or like other coaches, but it was rarely, or people who debated and then came back and they were like, I debated in high school.
yeah.
Now I'm a judge this weekend. And it's
Wow.
like, dang, like
That's pressure.
What you got going on?
That's it's pressure, and it's sad.
Yeah.
No, parents would volunteer to judge the debates, and I'm like, I know your kids.
Yeah.
Like you're not qualified.
No, that would have been so easy.
It's so
It would have
easy,
been
but it's also so
easy.
biased. It's
they wouldn't have been
biased.
able to take notes.
No.
Like, oh man, I would have loved. Man, my parents watched one debate, and they had so many comments, and it was like, man, y'all didn't even really see what happened.
Right,
Like,
right. It's personal. It's too personal with parents.
Mm-hmm.
But by doing debate, I found that there was a whole speech aspect of competition. So I did an event called Humor as Interpretation.
Yeah.
So I got to do that. As long as I stayed on the debate team, they let me go read some funny pieces, and it turned out I was good. An
individual event.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it turned out I was really good at that, and I was like, "Oh, I think maybe I'm funny." But it was like, okay, well, I gotta finish school and go to college. So I never really thought about doing stand up. Fast forward to me being in a doctorate program, writing jokes. A friend of mine who was doing comedy, her name is Sataris. She was good friends with David A. Arnold, and she was like, hey, you're really funny. You should take a stand-up class. You should take his stand-up class. And I was like, girl, I'm taking a lot of classes, actually. Right now. I don't really have time. But I kept writing jokes. So I was like, look, I'm going to take this class. It's 6 weeks. If I'm bad, only like 12 people are going to know. I get it out of my system. I do these jokes, and then it's over.
Yeah.
And then it started. And from there, that was my journey and my launch into comedy.
That's dope.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Also, in the class, you're probably the only one that's like, I already got a book of jokes.
I did. I had so much material. Like the jokes that I did, like day one in class, you have to go and do a 5-minute set. What I hated was the performance aspect of it, just because I am so anxious. I wanted people, like, I was just like, yeah, read the jokes. Like, I wanted this, like, I didn't want to perform the jokes. But yeah, I had pages and pages of thoughts to share that very first day, which was really cool. But yeah, that's how it started for me.
Wow. So, what were you going to do with the sociology?
Yeah, I was going to be a professor. I was already teaching as part of, your grad school program. You have to teach undergrad, which is an awful preview for what your job is going to be. But yeah, I was going to teach. I was going to finish, and then you get placed at a university, and you get placed on what's called the tenure track position, and you become a professor.
Were you a cool professor? Were you like not cool?
Yeah.
Like if somebody's late, are you like, do they get the cold shoulder or is
No, I was cool.
door locked?
Yeah, no, I was not Mr. Clark. Chain the doors. Like I wasn't. That was not my energy, because when you're a TA, it's like I got my own school to do, and I'm only being paid $4,000 a year to do this. So I didn't care enough to be rude.
Okay.
If that's
okay.
You know what I mean? This was at the time I was starting to do stand-up. So where I got in trouble is I was talking shit about my students on stage and on like Instagram. Like I was ranting about them. And they reported me to I don't know if he was like.
You didn't name names, did you?
No, but they know. That's how I know it was true, because they got mad. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh yeah, you know, Rebecca, that your paper was trash. So yeah, I got reported. I had to have a whole conversation with the department about and I'm like, I didn't do anything wrong, and they should be better students if they don't want to get talked about. That to me was like the beginning of like, okay, everybody's sensitive. Like, and some students were great. But for the most part, teaching at a university, like, let me know that kids were more invested in getting the grade than they weren't actually learning anything. It was very contentious. It was very much, I know more than you know. So that was like, it wasn't fun.
Yeah.
And they weren't good. You know what I mean? Like, I
okay.
was getting papers from students. Like, I taught sociology classes, classes on race, classes on gender.
Okay.
And I'm getting papers from students that are still saying colored people, females. Like, and I'm like, you're not.
In quotes?
No.
Is this a quote from the past?
No.
And then the sign said,
yeah, no. Like, and I'm like, oh, this is bad. Like, y'all are bad. So that was tough. And when you teach those classes as a Black person, as a Black woman, the material is personal. You know what I mean? So when they don't get it or when they're contentious about it, it is personal. I'm not teaching math. You don't get the equation, that's on you.
Right,
It doesn't mean anything to me. But if you're pushing back on some of these identities and themes that that are consequential for me, then I got a problem. So I needed to go. And then they shot up at the school and I was like, oh yeah, I was like, yeah, I don't get paid enough and y'all don't care enough and y'all don't write well enough for me to be in here risking my life for this. So yeah, I think I was a cool professor. I was funny in class. I tried to make things fun and relevant. And yeah, when they were out of pocket, I talked shit about them. They wasn't good.
Any athletes in your class?
Many.
Many?
My first year teaching, I had the incoming freshman football team during a summer class.
That means they thought you was going to be gravy.
They thought I was going to be easy.
Yeah.
They all rode their scooters into class. A lot of scooters parked into class. A lot of no backpacks, no pencils, a lot of we're gonna skate by. They were still calling me Mrs. because, they haven't been acculturated into the college. They don't know to say professor or, they don't know. So I was the wrong professor for them because, I did care, but I think they thought that I cared about the football team. And I was a student that didn't have no school pride. Like, I didn't have no...
You don't have no UCLA gear?
No.
You don't have no throwback Reggie Miller jersey or nothing? No.
Like, I support the women's basketball team. But, I'm not like... I can't be invested in these institutions that I still owe money to. You know what I mean? It's I never understood, like, fandom. And maybe I always assumed that fans were people who didn't have student loans. Because it's like, how could you be so enthusiastic?
Yeah, all my friends would work at the games. Like, I would feel guilty going to games because I went to the University of Georgia. And then it would be like, I would pass so many people that were working there that I was like, I don't even know if I'm supposed to be enjoying this like this. Like, I love football, but I should be getting to work, you know?
It's a weird, school pride is a weird dynamic for me. It's like, I'm not rooting against the university, but I'm not going to be like, like, I'm not painting my face. Like, and especially grad school, you be there for so many years that it's like, you stole a lot of my life. So so teaching the football players was interesting. I will say they were very earnest students, but they thought I cared more about their football. And I'm like, I need to see these commas in this paragraph.
Got you. This might sound like an ignorant question. What makes someone a professor?
What do you mean? Like,
is there is just teaching in college make you a professor, or do you have to be like, oh no, you got to have a certain thing to be a professor? Like, you gotta be a doctor, you gotta have a master's or something.
No, I think it depends on what you're teaching. So before I taught at UCLA, I taught at Cal State Northridge, and a lot of the professors in the Pan-African Studies department had like master's degrees. They were still professors. Typically, if you want to teach at like a Research One institution, like Ivy Leagues, or UCLA is a Research One institution, they require that you finish your doctorate and then you are technically a professor. But yeah, some kind of advanced degree. It doesn't always mean a PhD to be a professor.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I always wonder what degree Remember Higher Learning? Remember Lawrence Fishburne?
Mm-hmm.
He was Jamaican in the movie. What degree? Where do you think he got his doctorate from?
I don't
And
know.
what was it in?
I don't know. His class was very intense
It
from
was.
day one, and it was like,
Mr. Williams.
I'm so glad I saw that in my adult life. I didn't grow up. I didn't see Higher Learning before I went to
okay.
college.
That's probably
Yeah,
good.
yeah. Or else
You
I
would've
would have been
never
like,
went.
the
Yeah.
skinheads. Somebody gotta be. Somebody here
Yes.
is in a secret Nazi group.
100%. Yes. There was a kid in my class who I saw get radicalized over the quarter. He started a regular white boy, and by the end of the quarter, I still have the picture in my phone. I took a picture in class because I was nervous that he might shoot up the school, and I reported him to the department. They, of course, did nothing about that, but me talking shit about the students, I got pulled in. But yeah, I saw him come in regular, and then over the course, shaved his head, skinny jeans, white supremacist boots. You know, he turned in a paper to me about why black people were inferior. Like, school was crazy.
Wow. Hey, UCLA?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yes, people think it's restricted to certain. It's everywhere. Crazy is everywhere. So
I would think the California school with the blue colors would be the most liberal, you know.
I feel like they have meetings and they're like, we need to penetrate everywhere.
Okay. Oh, that is true. It is like a California, we got to get someone from each part of the state type of thing. Yeah,
Because it's like once you've mastered an area, if you don't expand, then are you even growing as an organization?
And it's the brightest. So this is the best paper about why black people are inferior.
Exactly.
You know,
I mean, he was well written compared to my non-racist students. His paper was much better written. I was like, see, if only you used your powers for good. But they're training you right, or I'm training you right. That's what I felt like. I was training him to be a bad person. Yeah, he was great at writing.
Yeah. With sociology, do you look at reality shows different than other people?
Oh my gosh. My favorite reality show for a long time was 90 Day Fiancé.
Okay.
And I feel like everybody was watching it because it's obviously ridiculous. But it was interesting to me to kind of like look at all the gender dynamics that were at play and just kind of like the false idea of American exceptionalism is like, you don't have no money here. You think as you import a woman from Thailand that you're not gonna be still poor when she gets here. Like,
her work ethic's gonna bring y'all up.
Yes, like, and you're gonna owe her family, and you don't have the money.
Yeah.
So there just were a lot of things, and it also showed me that like foreign whites don't know how to analyze and understand American whites. Like they don't know how to differentiate their whites. So like a lot of like the Russian women or like Eastern European women would be, you know, they come here and they're like, oh, my husband, he's like Tom Cruise. He's and I'm like, I'm like, you can't tell the difference between a Midwest white and a Hollywood white. I'm like, girl, you gotta do more research. They think all white men are wealthy. They just kind of paint them with a broad brush. I'm like, white men are not a monolith. You coming over here, girl, and you're gonna be in Iowa.
Yeah.
Like you. So yeah, it's interesting to me. I always kind of watch for those little nuggets.
Okay. What's your favorite color sky?
My favorite color sky? I like when the sky is... I like when it's so bright that you almost can't look at it.
Okay.
Yeah. Because that means it's going to be a really sunny day. And I don't know if that's the exact question that you were asking.
No, it's for whatever interpretation.
Yeah. I like when the sky is so bright that you almost can't look at it. It means the clouds are kind of like, is it cirrus when they're kind of like?
I'm not a cloud expert.
Okay.
Yeah,
no horn for that either. Because we don't know if it's right. We don't know if it's right.
I don't even know what a cloud expert would be called.
Would they be not a meteorologist?
Maybe
that's weather.
I feel like they if a meteorologist is at the bar and you're talking about clouds, they're gonna butt in. They're gonna be like, well, actually.
And if you're at a bar, are they going to use the weather voice? Are they going to be like, actually, that cloud? Like, are they going to do it like that, or are they going to be regular?
Wait, but do all meteorologists work for the weather?
That's a great question. Do they work for the weather?
Like,
yeah. What else do they
work
do?
for the news, rather? I feel like there's got to be some that are just like, dude, we just studying. We just look at the Richter all day. Most days, pretty calm.
Yeah, I feel like
most days, it's just a line on a paper.
but then
when it gets crazy, that's when the phone's off the hook. Oh, now you need us. Oh, now people want to know what the category is. Oh, okay. Yeah, no one asked what the category was on Tuesday.
That sounds like a really great job. Like you study for a long time and then you don't work until a catastrophe happens.
Yeah.
Or near catastrophe happens.
Mm-hmm.
And it's your job to kind of predict them. That's a fantastic job.
That's cool. Being in the air conditioning, looking at the Richter scale, that's cool. Chasing tornadoes, not as cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not at all. But thank you for asking that question.
Mm-hmm. So, what's up with the cirrus cloud?
that was my... I don't know. I thought cirrus clouds were like spread out.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, when the clouds are spread out like that, that's why the sun is so sharp, is because the clouds is like, let me make room. You know what I mean? Okay. So this answer, I feel like, has gone on far too long for a question that I kind of didn't understand in the first place.
No. It's I ask everyone.
Okay.
Because no other podcast is going to ask it.
What have some of the other answers been?
A lot of people like pink, purpley, sherbety.
Oh, like after the storm kind of sky?
Yeah. Sunset.
Nah, I like...
Some people like blue. They just like blue. And when they say blue, like that's the only answer. Like, blue, what's wrong with you? Next.
Well, because I feel like if they say they like gray skies, then we're worried. You
right.
know what I mean? Then we're worried.
I feel like somebody said a gray sky, and I was worried, and then they took it into like a whole place.
You see?
Some people said the night sky.
Oh, okay. I didn't even think of that. The night sky
comedians are
good.
Vampires.
It's true.
We only really be out at night, most of us.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I didn't even think about the night sky, and I really love the moon.
Okay.
I really like the moon.
Yeah.
The moon is pretty dope.
Do you keep up with it, or are you just just walk outside and get surprised?
Like a crazy bitch. I'm not like, oh, retrograde and the moon isn't like, I can't.
Okay.
The times are too modern to be trying to use the moon to determine why you're being an asshole. Like maybe it's just your mood. But,
I mean, I feel you, but
you kind of...
Some stuff is dictated by the moon.
You mean like energy?
Well,
individual energy?
Well, like Christians use the lunar calendar, and that's why the dates don't line up. Sure.
That to me is different than I'm talking about. The moon is big. I should date him.
Gotcha.
Like that. No, but I don't keep up with it. But when it's cool, like I'll go outside and look at it.
Yeah. When I was a kid, and I wasn't a kid, but when I was younger and I watched Bruce Almighty, and he brought the moon closer for Jennifer Aniston, I was like, I'm gonna get that later. I'm gonna understand that. Like that one's not for me. Like in high school, we ain't got to that point yet, but like later, I'm gonna understand that, and I'm still just like, I don't get it. I really don't get it.
It makes you feel things. I remember being on a cruise and seeing the moon, the largest I've ever seen it, and I cried.
Yeah?
Yeah, I was like, this is cool. This is so cool. That makes me feel
when things are cool, you cry?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Or things I think that are supernaturally cool.
Okay.
Or maybe not supernaturally is not the right word. But like, yeah, I thought that was cool. You wouldn't cry at like the Northern Lights?
I don't know if I'd cry.
Yeah.
I'd probably be like, ooh, that was crazy. Look.
NFL reactions to natural phenomena.
Oh! Wait, man, it's wild out here.
That's the best. They should take people who have those reactions and put them in front of a volcano or
Yeah.
a volcano, I feel like that would be the appropriate reaction. But
Yeah. Because even like that slow lava that
Yeah,
you
yeah.
see like down the street and it's just destroying everything in its path, but it's going very slow.
Yeah.
It's just it's fascinating, but also it's like we got to get away from that.
yeah, it's a serial killer type lava.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming at you faster than you think.
Do you cry at concerts?
I cried at Celine Dion.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel like there's so many things I'm saying.
No, I wasn't
like, you
expecting.
don't-
Shout out to Celine. I
Rob
wasn't
doesn't
expecting.
emote much, but I feel like in the course of this podcast, I've said 4 things where you've been like, oh, I don't understand her at all. Definitely. Are you trying to...
I'm trying to find some Celine Dion.
That's how deep of a surprise it was for you. But I definitely cried at Celine Dion.
Yeah.
And look, now she's not even performing anymore.
Right.
So I feel good about that decision. I was
Right.
in the moment. Yeah, and this was as soon as I heard that. See?
Oh man.
You want to cry too. When you
Liz over here
hear it, whatever this flute, the flute.
3 stacks. You gotta learn. My heart will go on.
Yeah.
Come on,
if
man.
Andre 3000 played, my heart will go on.
That's it. He'll get the culture back.
Oh my gosh. When you hear this, if you don't cry, you don't believe in love. You don't believe in love. But yeah, I definitely cried when she sang this and a couple other songs. Celine Dion is fantastic.
I remember when she was on Oprah, she said like she doesn't talk the day of a performance.
She's extra. Yes.
And I was like, and she only drinks honey and like tea. And I was like, that's next level.
Yes. And if you go to a concert, you realize why. Because she never stops talking during the concert.
Oh.
Not one breath. She sings, she'll finish a song, and then she starts talking all, she says whatever she wants to say. And then she slides into another song. She is...
What is she talking about?
Anything. Any single thing. It's like, I don't know, is Mad Libs the game where it's like she'll hear a word and then go on a tangent and then start singing and then so she needs all of that vocal energy because she does not stop.
I was in a limo with Renee. And...
100%. She does not stop talking.
Oh, that's crazy.
No setups, no transitions, weird discussions. Songs.
I heard Kenny G is funny.
Kenny G is funny. Kenny G was on my flight back from... I know I keep saying crazy things. So I did a show in Seattle for New Year's Eve. And Kenny G also had a show New Year's Eve. I was very upset about it because I couldn't go to his show because I had a show. And of course I had to say that, at the airport.
So you're a Kenny G fan?
Come on.
I'm asking.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Kenny G. I have to vet this statement, but any white man with a ponytail from the 90s, I feel like black people were supporting.
Okay.
Steven Seagal.
Michael Bolton. Okay.
Can we think? Yeah, I feel like that's probably the end of the list. Or even if your hair was like moving toward the potential for a ponytail, like
Okay.
Chuck Norris, with that little cohort of long-haired white men, I feel like. But yeah, Kenny G was at the airport. We were both getting on the same flight. I saw the ponytail. He had all the gear, and saxophone gear is specific. So it's like if you didn't know it was Kenny G, you knew it when you saw the saxophone case. Very cool guy.
Okay.
Chatty.
Yeah.
Chatty. Yeah.
Well, he's up there with the different saxes, so he also doesn't get a chance to talk.
Correct.
So then, I bet you if Celine and Kenny G get on a flight together, it's nonstop.
They
don't even get the food service because it's like
that was the thing.
We don't want to interrupt them.
That was the thing. They dropped the salad. I'm like, Kenny, I'm trying to eat, and he was chatterbox, but he's a very nice guy.
Okay.
I don't know how do we get to Kenny G?
Well, I had a friend that opened for him, and I heard that he was funny, and I was like surprised by it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But then you already were there. Like I thought I was gonna break the news that Kenny G had a sense of humor. You're like, we're in a group chat. Actually, we talk all the. He be leaving voice notes, and I'm like, chill. I can't read this right now. I'm busy.
I feel like I'm trying to think of other concerts that I've been to that maybe you'd be shocked by, but maybe.
I'm sensing some patterns and some things, you know what I'm saying? Like I come in no assumptions.
Right.
But at the same time, I don't know if I could be shocked. It would have to be way left, like, if you said you was like at a Kiss show with full makeup, I'd be surprised.
You should be because
you wouldn't wear blue for your school.
Correct. So I was like, that line of reasoning.
If you wear spikes for Gene Simmons, then it's like, all right, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, no, that would be right. I did get tickets to see Korn.
Okay.
But find it. If you can find Korn.
I got, man, it's some Korn with a K.
Yeah, with the K and the backwards R.
Yeah.
Now, it's the backwards R. That's the one. So, this is the one.
Yeah.
Of course, my parents shut that down. I was not allowed to go to the Korn concert because, I had Black Christian parents and Korn was demonic to them. I really think it was the backwards R.
It wasn't just them. It was nationwide. How'd y'all get on TRL? Nothing else here is like you. How did y'all get here?
Britney Spears and
it
was like, what?
It was never kids calling in for Korn. They were always calling in for the boy bands.
Listen, I called in for Korn.
There were never no kids. Oh my God, my name's Amberia. I live in California and I want to hear Korn for
I did. I really wanted to hear it. Like most kids were sneak listening to nasty songs. I had to sneak listen to Korn. My parents were not having the demonic scatting that he was doing at the end of that song.
How did you feel about Korn when you finally could hear it conflict free?
I mean, I still will listen to it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you still?
I'll still listen to Korn. Okay. I'll still throw on some Incubus and some, okay. I have a little, it's a little playlist.
Okay.
I feel like it's good stress relief to hear white people be angry, but it's like controlled anger.
Right. Like, I could turn you down though.
Exactly. Exactly. So, yeah, it's that was that was the concert that I tried to go to that I was not allowed to go to. Okay. Mm-hmm.
If you were so you gotta watch a music video. Where you going first? You going Celine's way? You going Kenny G's way? You going the Korn Incubus way?
Like, wait, who am I choosing? I'm choosing Celine over everybody.
Okay, so you're going Celine for first.
Yeah, in that group. But like, are we asking just like favorite genre of music? Or are we asking?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's tough.
Okay.
But I feel like my leanings are always 70s R&B and funk.
Okay.
That to me, and soul, I feel like that all gets encapsulated in that era, and into early 80s, like early 80s funk and soul and R&B. All that is, okay. That any time of the week, any day of the week.
Got you. Yeah. That's my bag for sure.
Who's your favorite artist in that?
My favorite
or a favorite?
A favorite.
Because I don't like when people be like, "What's your top 10?" Like it's just barbershop energy, and I'm not here to bring that.
It depends on my mood. I think a lot of times Gap Band.
Yes.
A lot of times Parliament.
Fantastic.
But then sometimes, like, I do need symmetry. Like, Parliament is so crazy.
Parliament is so insane.
That it's like we are in a different place than where we started.
Yeah.
I don't know how to get back. But I love it. I do love it,
Yeah.
and I do love the radicalness of it, and just
Yes.
how But at the same time, sometimes I'm like, Earth, Wind, and Fire a little perfect.
Earth, Wind, and Fire is about as perfect as you can get. Parliament is insane, and you do feel a little crazy. Like, the longer you listen to it, because the songs are 12 minutes.
Yeah.
By the end of it, it's like, how did we get to, where are the...
I like the thought though. I like how you could see where they were,
Yes.
what they were thinking on the drugs.
Yes.
Like Agony of Defeat is also about feet.
Yes.
And they talking about, putting a size 10 foot in a size 6 shoe. That won't do. Like everybody's bringing their own feet stuff
Anything.
to it.
They just said anything.
Yeah.
Like now I'm thinking of Cool. Is it Cool in the Gang, Jungle Boogie, where at the end the dude just starts talking like a monster. He just with to get down.
Come on.
Like, I'm like, what? He just did. But
Let it flow.
with the boogie.
It's not like now where it was digital.
Right.
And like you could be like, oh, we could just delete that and like do something else. This is on like a recorded
Yes, it's done.
thing. Yeah,
This is
it's
in
done.
This is in the kid. Rodney, that's what he decided to do. We
Hey,
done
y'all-
paid for the studio time.
y'all
That's gonna
keep
be
it
on the final
going.
cut.
And then, I'm gonna do my thing at the end.
And he doesn't say it at the beginning. It's
No.
always a mystery because they know they're going to tell him not to do it.
Right. Hey guys, if we really in the jungle, it's gonna be more than just words said.
Right.
It's gonna be some grunts. We going through the grass, it's vines and stuff around,
Right.
jaguars and stuff, swamps. You know what I mean? We gotta just gotta
Right.
get primal with it.
Yeah, it got to be an embodied sound. So, yeah. That was great. And it goes on.
Yeah.
He doesn't just... he starts to feel it.
It's also like what a little kid does before they know how to sing or like rap or anything.
Yeah.
They're just dancing around and
This to me though feels more rhythmic and inspired than like mumbly, because I feel like the same argument can be made about like, oh, these rappers is mumbling, we don't know what they're talking about, and it's like, yeah, this is incoherent, but it feels good.
I felt like the boogie made him do that. Like when you boogieing good and then you just like it's in him.
It has to come out. It's the boogie.
Yeah.
So, do you remember the song Backyard Boogie?
Backyard Boogie?
Yeah.
It sounds familiar.
Yeah, I think it's Mac 10.
Okay. All right. I might not know it.
Well,
No offense to the
West
Mac 10.
Coast.
Yeah, no offense to the West Coast. Okay.
You've not heard this? Let it play. Maybe not. This podcast is just
Oh, wait. What was I supposed to be looking for?
Backyard Boogie.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
But I did, because we were talking about Boogie. When I heard this song, I feel like I was in middle school. I
Okay.
thought, and it came out, or at least maybe the first time I heard it was around Halloween, and I thought that this was like a Halloween song.
Oh,
I thought Boogie was
it's
like-
a little oh, Boogie like boo.
and then if you hear how it starts, he's like, yeah. And I was like, oh,
okay.
it's foolish. And no, I was just young and naive. This is about a backyard, a little cookout, a little thug inspired cookout. But yeah.
It samples the song that I do know, which is a disco song by Sky.
Yeah. This is fantastic. But see how Mac 10 sounds Like you're being chased a little bit more.
Right. No, with him on it is more scary because I've heard this and I've been like, it's time to spin.
Yeah.
You know, it's
this
time.
makes
it's
me want
time
to dance.
To, like dance. Yeah.
This is it's more like
Yeah.
floating.
It's like they on cocaine. I'm
Correct.
not.
Right.
But I'm still having a good time.
Correct. Mag 10 feels like he's in your house,
Yeah.
taunting you as you hide. Like he's coming for you. But yes. Oh man, these musical musings.
Musical musings. Cool. We got an episode title.
Beautiful. Look, I'm only here. I'm here to help.
Yeah. If you could be any animal, what animal would you be?
I wouldn't be an animal. I wouldn't. I'd opt out.
You realize you're currently an animal.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be. Your question is if I could be another animal,
non-human animal.
I wouldn't. You said if I could be, not if I had to be. If I could be, it's not like I aspire to be a different thing.
I've never heard that loophole. I've never heard somebody be like, well, hey, I don't have to be.
I don't.
Yeah.
Like, I think people forget that they can object to the premise of a question.
Yeah, you could.
And it's,
you could.
Yeah, but that's a real answer. I would not be an animal.
You would not be an animal.
No.
Okay.
What would you be?
I think I could be a sloth any day. Like, I think that's easy. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like, after a while, I could learn that life, sit in a tree, do my thing.
Do they get preyed upon, sloths? Like, because you're not thinking, and maybe this is the woman in me, but I'm thinking of what's the danger of being the animal? Because it's already scary to be this human, this animal,
right.
Considering the dangers. Have you considered that? You just think you're going to be...
Any sloth that I've seen get preyed upon that was doing too much.
Okay.
Because you kind of blend in and your camouflage is to just like chill.
Okay.
So if you out here not being sloth-like,
then
you're going to get dealt with.
If you're doing too much, yeah. Because you're not being who you're supposed to be.
You're supposed to be chilling, and you're not chilling. What you reaching up for that branch for? What you up there doing?
Okay. I feel like you haven't considered that somebody eats sloths. Just not because they're out of pocket. Just as a part of the ecosystem.
I think, the wrong bird could definitely, grab you.
Like a hawk.
Yeah. Hawk, eagle.
Yeah.
Falcon.
See, now I feel like, are you reconsidering sloth?
Well, no, I'm not evil like that. I could never be like a bird. I could never just like grab something from its family, drop it.
Then you starve.
Eat it.
What are you eating as a falcon? Are you vegan?
I don't know. I don't think that life is for me.
That's why you said sloth.
Yeah, I want to know where I use the bathroom, where it goes. I don't want to just drop it.
That's
you know what
true.
I'm saying?
You are considerate.
Birds are wild.
Birds are disgusting. Again.
But if they were smarter, they would run everything. They could fly.
Yeah, but they're not organized.
Right. If birds organized like Hitchcock was trying to do, it'd be a different story.
It would be. But they can't get it together, and I feel like the pigeon population is bringing them down because pigeons cannot be organized.
Right. Pigeons really, but that's why they in the city. Because if they'd be in the wild if they was really like that. But they like, I'm going to be over here by these buildings. Yeah.
And what are pigeons supposed to be eating? Because I've only ever seen them eating chips and pizza. Like, that's a part of it, too. I feel like they've broken their evolutionary
Have you
purpose.
heard that pigeons and doves are related?
I have.
That's crazy.
You see?
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know what our point was.
But I'm saying doves don't be where pigeons be.
Correct. And that's what I'm saying.
Doves be in the Hamptons.
Yeah. Pigeons,
I don't know where
pigeons
doves
be
are.
in Jersey City.
Yeah.
Gambling.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah.
Pigeon, everywhere on that 10 list, on the
That's
shade
where
room.
pigeons be.
That's where the pigeons be.
That's what the demographers need to look at.
Yeah.
For the populations that are in the dirty cities, what is their pigeon population?
Right,
I bet it's high.
right. Mm-hmm,
I bet it's high. And can pigeons fly and they just don't want to.
I think they fly a little bit.
See,
Like, I think they fly when somebody's like, man, you can't fly. Then it's like, nah,
Right.
I could do a little something,
yes,
you know.
that's it. And I've only seen them fly a little bit to food.
Right. Or away from a car.
Right.
You know.
When it gets extremely close, they be
All
like,
right,
I gotta do it.
They not parking.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I wouldn't be an animal.
You wouldn't be an animal.
No, I can't even think of one.
You think humans are just that superior?
It's not that I think that we're that superior. It's that I wouldn't be an animal.
Gotcha.
I just don't like what animal.
You don't like change?
What do you mean?
Like there would be an adjustment to being whatever animal you choose, and
Yeah.
you'd rather not adjust to being an animal.
No, I think. Here's what I think. I think in order to consider this premise, you have to present me with a couple of animals because I've not spent time thinking about being an animal.
Okay.
So, and I'm also not an animal person. It's not like I was the girl who's like, I want a pony, and I'm just like, cool, y'all cool. I'm not gonna disrespect you.
Okay.
But like, yeah. So if you presented a couple of animals, but I do feel like if I was an animal, I would spend time being like remembering my life as a human.
Yeah. That's true.
And it was better, probably. Because I'm trying to think of what animal is living it up, is not endangered. We're not encroaching on their territory. Like, an animal in what period of time?
Or maybe you want to be endangered. Maybe it's like, yo, if I'm endangered, that means that it's illegal to kill me.
That's true.
You know?
But it also feels like you're also living in like dire straits. Like you got a corner of a whatever, or they're going to put you in a zoo.
Yeah.
Because they got to keep you. And then, they testing you, even though they say they not. And kids is looking at you. Like, you've not presented a strong case for the life of an animal that would be fire.
A Charlotte's Web type of situation.
Okay.
Where you so nice with making webs, you saving pigs and whatnot. Like you out here making messages, you going viral.
Okay.
Like the account of the different webs you making and the different stuff you saying, and you like, you in the web and you like, man,
a very talented
there's stuff going on in the Congo right now.
Spider. Very talented. Would I be a very talented spider? I would be Spider-Man if I was going to be a very talented spider. I wouldn't be just, and like, what kind of spider? Like, I would not be.
What you mean?
Like, because you could be, first of all that talent and you saving pigs. Save better animals.
Charlotte just knew. Who was Charlotte?
I don't
Charlotte
remember
was
the
pig?
movie.
Was Charlotte the pig?
Oh,
Charlotte was the spider?
Yeah, Charlotte's Web. That makes sense.
Then what was the pig's name? Wilbur. That is right. That is right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh?
The pig dies? Oh.
Of old age, though, right? Like in spider years.
Oh, natural causes?
Yeah.
Okay.
It didn't try to go in no water spout or nothing. I think Charlotte was really just out here.
Done.
Just
I lived out my purpose.
I saved this pig. I promoted veganism.
Yeah.
I'm out. Charlotte probably ate vegetables. If you saving a pig, you can't also have flies in your web.
That's true.
Or you got a side web where you eat and you
That's
don't.
a lot of work. This my decoy web. This where I eat web. That's why Charlotte died. Way too much energy. You've not presented a strong case for an animal. A sloth is. I get why you chose it, but I just feel like.
All right, what if you the predator? What if you were like a cheetah?
Okay.
Or like a lion or a tiger.
Yeah, I mean, sure. I feel like, where am I living? You
in the continent.
Yeah.
You in the continent.
That is the main argument for why I would consider any of those animals, is that I get repatriated to where I'm supposed to be.
Okay. Okay.
But that's a lot of work being a cheetah, and it's a running and attacking and.
But you good at running.
Yeah.
If you're a cheetah, then you like running.
No. I get it. I wouldn't be no animal.
All right.
This was fun.
Yeah.
It really made me think critically, and all it did was solidify my answer.
I'm not trying to change your mind.
No, I didn't think you were.
You know, I'm not trying to indoctrinate you in this whole anthropomorphic ideas and whatnot. You know, I'm just out here giving random scenarios.
No, and I appreciate it. I do.
Anything that you want to say to the people? Anything you want to promote?
You guys should follow me on Instagram at _Amberia, Amberia. Yep, there's an E in there. There's an E in there. Black Mama. E in there for decoration.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where you can find where I'm performing next and some more interesting content. Yeah, follow me there.
Dope. Shout out to everybody out there on the Patreon, everybody out there listening on Spotify.
I can't ever tell when you're excited. Like, I don't know if this was a rousing success or if you were
was great.
If you were disappointed.
This is a classic.
See, that feels not.
It's a classic episode.
That feels fake.
I feel like people learned so much.
You feel like they did?
Yes.
Okay. If we could summarize what you think the main takeaways from this podcast, what do you think they were?
We got into debate.
We did.
Celine Dion.
Yes.
Sociology.
Yep.
Being a professor.
Okay.
Your origin story.
That's true.
You know, animals.
Yes.
You know, the dude with the Richter scale. It's so much.
Oh yeah, meteorology.
Meteorology. Yeah.
We'll see how well this podcast performs.
This is going platinum. This is going platinum.
I hope so.
I'm gonna get one of them awards with a button on it. One of them YouTube awards off this podcast.
I really hope so.
Yeah.
I really do. Before you turn into a sloth, because you wouldn't be able to enjoy it.
I'm gonna come right back. It's not.
You think it's a snip snap situation?
Yeah.
See, that's
I
why
gotta learn whatever lesson and then I come back.
Okay.
Yeah.
The lesson is you don't want to be no animal. That's the lesson.
The lesson is listen to all the words in the question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then you can answer appropriately.
Yeah, it's true. Thank you for having me. This was
Thank
very
you
fun.
for doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come back anytime.
I appreciate it.
Oh, that was a blast.
Oh, I'm so glad. I never know if podcasts are going well or not.
No. Super fun.